are followed by Mark's mother Tracey, sister Maggie, grandfather Wes, Papa, sister-in-law Ashley, and they're followed by Mark's urn-bearers, Brandon Boudreau, Levi Hilton, Liam Holmstrom, Ryan LaRock, Christopher Richard, Daniel Richard, Reese Schmidt, Terrence Schmidt, Mike Shue, Robbie Shue, Jordan Spencer, and not in attendance today, Billy Shea. So good morning everyone and welcome, bonjour. Just a reminder, today's service is live streamed. It's being live streamed on the Park Memorial YouTube channel. And it will stay up on their channel for as long as the family feels appropriate. So if you want to go back and watch it, it'll be on the Park Memorial Edmonton YouTube channel. Good morning everyone, my name is Brad Eisen. I am one of Marcus's many cousins and family members on Tracey's side. And I'd like to thank the family for asking me to guide you all through Mark's celebration of life this morning. And I'd also like to make sure everyone's aware that you're all invited for lunch after the service. So please stay. I think we have the venue almost till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so don't feel rushed. It's a beautiful day. We're very lucky to have probably the best day of the year so far. So please enjoy it by being with family and friends at this time. I'd also like to recognize Marcus's grandmother, Aileen Spencer, Nan. She's going to be watching through the live stream. So, hi Nan.
Hi, Nan.
Everyone says hello. They're all waving. As we go through today's service, there's going to be a lot of reflection, there's a lot of pictures, there's going to be a lot of stories about Mark and his life. And I'm going to take a minute just to share one right now from myself while I've got the opportunity. That basically it was the first thought I had when my mom called me on Friday. It was the first image I had in my head. It came to me faster than anything. I think Mark was about 2.5. He was still in diapers. We were out at the farm with Tracey, where Tracey and the kids were out by Bonaccord. And my grandmother had an Oldsmobile Cutlass, a white one, lot of you might remember it. And in there was a CD player. And I was thinking, I don't know where I was going, but I was getting the car ready I was borrowing it for something, and I wanted the CDs player available, but there was one stuck in there. And so I was out, it was parked just in front of the garage, and I'm in the passenger seat at the front of the car trying to get the CD out. And I don't know how long it was, but it was long enough for me to want to just start using a hammer or give up or whatever. But Marcus was in the back seat of the car with me. And he is typical Marcus at that age, just his diaper, no shirt, no pants, no shoes, dirty feet. And I kind of sit up from trying to get this CD out, and I said, Marcus, I can't get this CD out, what do I do? And so he just kind of pops up from what he was doing, and he puts his hands there, and he says, keep trying, Brad. I was like, damn, that's good advice. So that was the advice he gave me at a very early age, and that's been something that I always think about. And I've shared that story with Marcus many, many times when we'd see each other, especially at our cousin Christmas parties. He'd always ask me about that story and ask me to tell it again. And I know Mark, he was a leader. I don't know anybody who was more of a character than him. And regardless of, him, we go through life, it's just about making decisions. The information we have, the tools we have at the time, the support we have at the time, whatever we have around us. And regardless of whether or not anybody agrees with our decisions or not, Marcus made his, and that's okay. I'm good with his decision. It was his decision. I know he kept trying. And I don't judge him for it. I never will. And so I hope that everyone here can find that peace, because I know there's a lot of sadness, hurt, confusion, anger, questions. Why? That's okay, because I know Mark kept trying. So with that, I'd like to now ask Mark's uncle, Kaleb Spencer, Tracey's brother, to come up and read the eulogy.
Good morning. Well, Brad, very well done. I said to Maury this morning, I said, this isn't normal eulogy attire. She says, well, it's not a normal eulogy. How true. Like Brad said, I'm Marcus's uncle, Kaleb Spencer, and I'm honored to do the eulogy. Marcus Bruno Chamberland Spencer was born to Robert and Tracey on May 27th, 1998, right here in St. Albert at the Sturgeon Hospital. He joined big brother Matthew, and big sister Maggie, or little brother and little sister, and completed the family of 5 who at the time were living on the farm west of Bonnecourt in the same yard as Nanapapa. Marcus was predeceased by his father Robert in 1999, and the family of 5 became a family of 4, who were surrounded by the love and support of family and friends, and many of who are here this morning. So, I guess I'm usually to give some reflection, and I've got some things wrote down, and I'm pretty sure I probably won't read them all, and I'll ad-lib some, and then we can bullshit you with some, I don't know. Sorry, Nan. She just said, I don't give a shit. They lived across, he lived across the yard from Nan and Papa, which had its perks, obviously, especially for a little charming guy with a big smile, and he was always ready for a cuddle or treats, snacks from Nan, and vice versa. They loved him. Papa has a story, but I'm not going to share it because if we have the courage to give him the mic later, he'll probably share it anyway, so we're still debating on that one. He was also my mate Chamberlain's cookie baking pal back when he was a little guy, and loved making cookies with Mame. Biggest problem was he had a little bit of trouble waiting for things to cool off, so he often burnt his tongue, quite often, because you see the size of him, so he learned how to eat and eat early. But he never cried, he just kind of went on. Tracey says about the only time she can remember him crying, he was about 5 years old, and that would have made me, he was 5, and about, I don't know, 19, maybe a little older. He wanted to play football, so we played football, and he ended up breaking his arm. Apparently it was my fault. But I had to get my licks in when he was that size, because eventually he wasn't that size. In 2003, Tracey and the kids made the move to Beaumont, and he graduated high school in Beaumont in 2016. Growing up, young Marcus, he was always riding his bike, skating at the skate park, the ODR, skating across from the house, played all the school sports. He was always up for the fun, and you can tell by all these pictures up here, always with a smile on his face. At age 11, he began playing football a little more seriously, and he loved it because, like Tracey says, Marcus, that's the only time you're allowed to hit anybody, is when you play football. So on the way to games, he'd say to his mom, I'm gonna hit somebody today. So he would, and we went and watched a few of them, and Jesus, like, no wonder he hit people. He was the size of, it was unfair, but he still did it, which was good, or he would have been in trouble with Uncle Colin. But he hit somebody, and he just took his hand out and helped him up. And hit him again next play, but he helped him up again. And that was just Marcus. He was a beast on both offense and defense, and in 2015, his team won the city championships. He has a bunch of awards. You can see him on that back table if you haven't seen him yet, so they're all over there. During his late teen years and early teen years, I guess, he was spent a lot of time at Rabbit Hill Ski Club, where he enjoyed snowboarding, making new friends, and he eventually ended up working as a lift operator out there and loved it. Now, let's go to when he was 18 and came to work for us at GD Liquidators. I remember Tracey calling me and asking me if we were hiring, because my little baby's looking for a job. I said, well, there's two stipulations. And at that time, he didn't even have his learner's license because he was her little baby. Where do you want to go, Marcus? We'll give you a ride, Marcus. So he didn't have his learner's license. So I said, well, there's two stipulations. First one is you have your little baby phone me. And second of all, you tell him to get his learner's license or no job until that happened. See if he had a little motivation. He didn't need his learner's license for the job. Just want to see what kind of motivation was there. Well, a week later, he was on the payroll. So he went and got it. And he was determined. He worked for us in the warehouse in the yard, drove the 5-ton, but his claim to fame is the forklift. He was a great forklift operator, which is ironic because when he first started, every time he jumped on the forklift, we all kind of couldn't watch because you didn't know if it was going off the dock, if the racking was going to get knocked over, run the side of this forks through the side of a truck, who knows. But he ended up being one of the best I've ever worked with or seen. And he did all his jobs most of the time with a smile on his face. But there wasn't anything he wouldn't do for us. You know, it was minus 30 outside. Marcus, we had to pick this order. Jesus, minus 30. Okay, and he'd go out there with his stupid little running shoes on, no gloves. But he did it. He did it. He will be missed by the boys at work. He enjoyed mountain climbing with the Giffords, which just shows you how strong he was, because really not too many of the guys the size of a mountain can climb a mountain. He enjoyed the island with his sister Maggie, going to UFC and WrestleMania with Matt and Nate and Kaleb. He enjoyed riding his bike, well, except for the time he went over the handlebars in the river valley and broke his collarbone. I kind of thought he was just faking it, but to get out of work. But actually, no, it was legit. He went over and did a good number on himself. He was the fun guy around everybody. As you can see, these pictures, always smile on his face, especially where the kids were concerned. Not only his nephews, but all the little kids. He loved little kids, loved little people. He was kind of like the Pied Piper. They would just follow more like the biggest kid in the room. And both figuratively and literally, he was the biggest kid in the room. Now I could go on and on and on, but I know there's other people that want to get up here and say a few things about Mark, so I'm just gonna leave you with this. He loved the Oilers, good choice. He loved the Steelers, not such a good choice. He loved being an uncle. He loved his family and friends. But most of all, he loved his mom. He was tired, but not weak. Funny as hell, but quietly hurting. He will be forever loved and forever missed. Thanks.
Thank you, Colin. Okay. I would now like to invite Levi Hilton and Mike Shue up to say a few words about Marcus. Levi and Mike are lifelong friends of Mark, growing up in Beaumont.
Thank you everyone for coming to celebrate the life of my best friend, Marcus. Marcus had the biggest heart and made everybody that he met instantly feel like they had made a new best friend of their own. His smile was always ear to ear, and you could hear him laugh from just about anywhere. We met when I moved in next door to him in grade 5, and we were best friends ever since. We battled like brothers sometimes, but always made up. We broke rules and ran from the cops. We could sit for hours and not say anything, just happy to be hanging out. Once we grew up, life got in the way. There were a couple years that we didn't see each other as much as we would have liked to. When the bad stuff got out of the way, we were back to the way it was before, best friends and brothers. We made a pact that no matter how far life pulled us away, we would always have somebody to call. We would always have a best friend. Marcus had dark things going on in his head that he had to fight every day, but he never failed to let the light shine through so brightly that he basically blinded everybody he met with his happiness. Tracey, you raised my best friend and one of the kindest people ever. Please call me anytime for a hug or just to sit and tell stories. Tracy, Matt, and Maggie, you were all my second family when I was young, and I am here for you, however you all need. I hope Marcus has peace and quiet. I hope he sees all the people here today and knows how many lives he touched and made better. I love you, brother. I will miss you forever. Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, my name is Levi Hilton. Marcus was my best friend for a lot of years. Marcus, or as I like to call him, Marky Poo. My brother, I hope you're looking down on all of us here today and are seeing how many lives you touched, even if you couldn't make it here today. You would light up any room you walked into with something as simple as a smile, a funny dance move, your giant bear hugs, or even just simply saying, "What's up, baby?" I had the honor of meeting Marky when we were kids at Colonial School, and from that first meeting, that man always had my back. From copying his answers in social class, I kinda passed, to teaching me a proper football tackle just so I can win one round of King of the Hill. Happened at one point. Then as we grew older, those seemingly small events turned into a whirlwind of both happy and tragic events. He ended up being there when I got the tragic news about my brother Dustin passing, and Marcus picked me up off the front lawn and gave me one of his hugs and told me right then and there I would always have him in his family and I would have him as a brother. Then we proceeded to drink all the beer in my dad's fridge. Not the first or the last time that happened. He was also there the day I bought my wife's engagement ring. And when we told him that my wife said yes surprisingly, he hugged my wife and I both and looked at my wife right in her eyes and said, "Welcome to the family, you're stuck with us now." Or the amount of times he made me watch The Grinch, even when it wasn't Christmas. I could go on and on with the stories and moments we shared, but I know, like me, everybody in this room has moments they shared with good old Marky Poo that they will now cherish forever. And even on this day that feels like a tragedy, he would want us to smile and reminisce the good times rather than sit and soak in the sad. So thank you, Marky, for being someone that anybody could count on, and thank you for being more than my best friend, but my brother. For the last time, until our next meeting, bro. More cheers, more beers. That's it, that's all. Here's to you, my boy. I'll see you later, fella.
Thank you, Levi and Mike. So I'd like to now ask Rachel Ford, Mark's sister-in-law on Tracey's side, to come up and give a tribute to Marcus.
Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rachel Ford, Marcus's brother, Matt's sister-in-law. Today, I speak not only from my own heart, sharing how deeply Marcus impacted my life, but also on behalf of all the family and the many friends gathered here, and those who couldn't attend in person, those of us who are lucky enough to know him, to love him, and to be loved by him. Marcus was a treasure to his mom, dad, brother, sister, his nan and papa, his many aunts, uncles, and cousins, his beloved nephews, his in-laws and extended family, co-workers, and his many dear friends, really anyone who had the pleasure of knowing him. It's deeply moving, though not at all surprising, to see just how many lives Marcus touched. The depth and reach of his impact are a testament to the extraordinary person he was. I met Marcus nearly 12 years ago, when we first became auntie and uncle to our sweet nephew, Kaleb, and again with joy when little Nate came along. He loved being an uncle. It was a role he held close to his heart, and it showed in every single interaction. From the beginning, Marcus carved out a special place in my life. He wasn't just a friend to me, he was family. His light, his humor, his laughter, and his love brightened every moment. And I know that anyone who had the pleasure of knowing him felt that same light. It's an incredible privilege, though a bittersweet one, to stand here and speak about someone so special. Today, we honor the life of our sweet Marcus, a soul so radiant it was impossible not to feel his warmth the moment you were near him. Marcus had a rare gift. He was one in a billion. He made you feel seen, he made you feel heard, he made you feel loved, deeply and sincerely. His laughter could quite literally fill a room. His gentleness and kindness could soften any heart. His hugs could heal even the worst days, and his playful, beautiful spirit lifted everyone around him. His cousins, his nephews, even us bigs, absolutely loved when Marcus was around, because when he was there, joy followed. Pure fun, genuine laughter, endless belly laughs. He was through and through a big kid at heart, and always had been. It's hard to find the right words in a moment like this, but while listening to one of Marcus's favorite artists, Mac Miller, a lyric stayed with me. If I'm dying young, promise you'll smile at my funeral. And I believe that's what Marcus would want from us today, to smile even through our tears. Because Marcus is joy. He is laughter, he is warmth, and he is light. And even with our hearts so broken, we honor him by smiling. Smiling because we were lucky enough to know him, to love him, and to be loved by him. Smiling for the amazing memories we made, memories that will stay with us forever. Smiling because his light didn't leave us, it lives on. In every story we tell, in every laugh we share. Sorry. And every great big bear hug we give. Marcus may not be here in the way we wish he were. But his spirit, his laughter, and his love live on in us all. And for that, even in our pain, we can smile. We love you forever, Marky, and we'll miss you every day. Please watch over every single person in this room who loved you as fiercely as you loved them. Your memory will never be forgotten, and I promise you that. And I know when our time comes, you'll be waiting with that big, beautiful smile. May your soul rest in eternal peace until we meet again. Thank you, and please take care of yourselves.
Thank you, Rachel. You're starting to pick up on the commonality, light, radiant, nice sunny day. That was Marcus's gift to us. So we're gonna have a play video tribute on the screens. I'd like to thank Mark's sister Maggie and her partner Joel for putting this together. I don't know if you have any words you want to open it with, but we'll go through the video tribute.
Well, this is what it looked like right before you fall. Stumbling around, you've been guessing your direction, except you can't see it all. Now I have a name, I don't have a name, no. Who am I to blame, who am I to blame, no. And I cannot be changed, I cannot be changed, no. Trust me, I've tried. I'd stand up right at the start of the line, drawing circles. drink my whiskey, you sip your wine. We're through a while sitting watching the world falling down its decline.
Mental health cards. You can make a donation to CASA in honor of Marcus. I think you can scan the QR code there to donate, or if you're still using mail, you can fill this out and send it in, because he still uses mail. And don't send your MasterCard. Just print your number on there. Don't put your card in the envelope. Okay, we're gonna give about 5 minutes more. I'm gonna ask Angie Hampshire to come up, please. I'd like to introduce Angie. She's from Soul Sisters Memorial Foundation and St. Albert Bereavement. Angie's gonna come up and talk a little bit about mental illness.
Everybody's a little taller than I am. Okay. Well, hello everyone. My name is Angie Hampshire, and I am here today both as a grief counselor and as someone who cares so very much for this family. There's a line I often come back to when words feel small. How we leave this world is never as important as how we lived while we were here. And Marcus lived with love. A big guy with a bigger smile and the biggest heart. And I'm told that if you knew Marcus the way many of you had the privilege of knowing him, you knew that when he loved someone, he loved them all in. So when we experience a sudden loss, especially one that doesn't come with easy answers, our minds can quickly spiral with questions. Why? What if? Could I have? But grief isn't a puzzle for the brain to solve. It's a journey of the heart. And while our hearts might feel very broken right now, it's in the very breaking that love continues to live on. Because as you may have heard, grief is simply love, looking for somewhere to go. Marcus's legacy will never be defined by how his story ended. It will be measured by how he made people feel, how he worked alongside his family, how he laughed, how he lit up when his people were near. We honor Marcus not by understanding every moment of his struggle, but by remembering how he lived and how deeply he was loved in return. And when that missing feels too much, I invite you to let your heart lead. Tell his stories, speak his name, laugh at the memories, and sit with the sadness when it comes. Because that will lead you to leaning into love again. Take a walk. Put on his music. Be with your people. If the tears come, let them. If silence feels better, honor that too. Don't forget that you can still write him a story, talk to him, and sit with those memories. There is no timeline for grief. It doesn't follow rules, and it moves in waves. So ride them gently, and know that it's okay to sometimes come up for air. I often tell this to people because we just need the reminder that being strong doesn't mean that we don't cry. It's healing when we let these tears come. And it's even more so when we cry together. I also want to remind you that if you are struggling, don't carry it alone. Let someone in. Talk to a friend, a parent, a counselor. Let people love you through it. No one should ever feel like this world will be better without them in it. Marcus was deeply loved. You are deeply loved. And if you're able, be a light for someone, a kind word, a quiet check-in, a reminder that they matter can mean more than you'll ever know. I'll leave you with these words from Donna Ashworth. If you feel it, it's real. If you miss them, you loved them. If you cry, you care. There is no rule book to grief, only love and more love. Let it out. So may we carry Marcus forward in the love he gave and the love he leaves behind.
Well, this is what it looked like right before you fall. Stumbling around, you've been guessing your direction, except you can't see it all. And I don't have a name, I don't have a name, no. Who am I to blame, who am I to blame, no. And I cannot be changed, I cannot be changed, no. Trust me, I've tried. I'd stand up right at the start of the line, drawing circles. Well, I drink my whiskey, you sip your wine. We're through a while sitting watching the world falling down its decline. And I can keep you safe, I can keep you safe. Do not be afraid, do not be afraid. You're feeling sorry, I'm feeling fine. Don't you put any more stress on yourself, it's one day at a time. Getting pretty late, yeah, and I found it goes around like the ends. I keep counting the time, drawing circles.
I need four.
See?
Go girl, go! Jeez.
Want to try again?
Go girl! I'm choking and she's like, oh. What? I'm choking. Ow! And she was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm really done.
Don't take pictures of me. Just kidding.
Hey, 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 where are you going? Can I come to? The whole world is open, a playground for me and you. And we could be fine. Shit, who the hell knows? It's your eyes and your ears and your mouth and your nose, head and your shoulders, your knees and your toes. I dream of this moment. Will it come true? The whole world, they know it. They just waiting for me and you. And she, just like I, got her head in the clouds. Don't need to be lower before it's all over. I promise we'll figure it out. I ain't coming down. Why would I need to? So much of this world is above us, baby. They might tell you that I went crazy. I'm just trying to reach you. I know we try, and the days they go by until we get home. There's water in the flowers, let's grow. People, they lie, but hey, so do I. Until it gets old, there's water in the flowers, let's grow. Let it go, let it be. We're all we need today. Let it be. Yeah, well, sometimes I get lonely, not when I'm alone. But it's more when I'm standing in crowds that I'm feeling the most on my own. And I know that somebody knows me. I know somewhere there's home. I'm starting to see that all I have to do is get up and go. Going, going, going before I'm gone. gotta get going, going, going before I'm gone. And I know we try, days they go by until we get old. There's water in the flowers, let's grow. People, they lie, but hey, so do I. Until it gets old, there's water in the flowers, let's grow.
Maggie and Joel for that. Joel? Mostly Joel? Well, Maggie collected all the photos. And if you want, I know Maggie has an online folder of photos of Marcus that if you want the link, just maybe talk to her and she can share it with you, or if you've got any photos that you'd like added to it, she can manage that. Maybe give her a week before you start sending her a bunch of stuff, but get those to her. And also that video tribute was on the live stream, so if you go to the Park Memorial YouTube channel, you'll be able to view that video there. And trust me, they will turn the fans on once we're done, because it's going to start getting a little bit warmer. All right, Morris, we have an opportunity for anybody who wants to share a story or say something about Marcus to either come up here, or Morris has a mic. You just need to put your hand up and he'll come to you, or you can come up here. Either way, I know that one person may put up their hand. I don't know if you just want to start there. Kaleb? Absolutely. Kaleb is right.
Just before I start passing the mic around, I'd like, on behalf of Paulette and I and our 20 members of our family, I'd like to offer our condolences to the Spencers. And we've had a lot of laughs and had a lot of fun together. We've laughed a lot, and we've also grieved a time or two in our life. We've been friends with the Spencers for some 47 years, I think, and they've always felt like part of our family. You guys have all invited us in, and we thank you for that opportunity to be part of your family, and you're certainly part of ours.
Hello everyone. If for those who do not know me, my name is Kaleb Chamberland, and I am one of the nephews of Uncle Marcus. I remember when Uncle Marcus first taught me about playful teasing. It all happened at the old Beaumont house, and as I was given the tour, we walked into the laundry room. Then he picked me up and pretended to put me in the washing machine. I went like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm teasing you." I then asked, "What is teasing?" He then explained to me that teasing is to make fun of someone in a playful way. I told him not to do it again, but knowing Uncle Marcus, he still kept doing it.
Thank you, Kaleb.
How much time have I got, Colin?
Right from now on.
Well, it's great. Thanks for coming, all of you. And I'll tell you, when you listen to Brad and Colin and everyone else, you can tell I've taught them well. So, back in the corner, do you have to leave the room or can you not hear me? Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, I've been done a minute. I just wondered, there's generally one or the other, I've got to leave the room or, you know. Anyway, like they said, we had the pleasure of living across the yard at the farm when he was just a little guy. And he just, well, barely talked. And he always came over to his man and for help. I looked out the window one morning and he's coming, dragging his blanket, climbed up 4 steps onto the veranda and opened the door and said, Nan, I hear. And I said, your Nan's not here. He said, where Nan? I said, Nan's gone fishing. Oh, I gotta poop. Because he always came because she would wipe his butt for him. So he went in to the ensuite. A little while later, Nan, I finish. I said, I told you, Nan's not here, she's gone fishing. And I said, and furthermore, I'll wipe your butt with a wire brush. He says, I wait for Nan. Yeah, that was our Marcus here. But anyway, thanks for coming, everybody. And thanks, Bill and Faye. Faye's been her and Tracey and Maggie, and you know, done a big job. I stay up in my condo and mind my own business, and don't get in any trouble that way. I'd like to get in trouble now, because at my age, if I got in trouble, I want the whole goddamn world to know. Thank you. Hello, buddy. Thanks, Morris, and our friends from Bonneville, Calgary. It's really great. Thank you.
We got at the back there, young man with a... More, you can come up here if you want. I think he's gonna come up here, Morris. If you do want to come up to the podium, we can start a line just so we know what we're in for.
My name is Aiden Holmes. I have been a dear friend, one of my best buds since I was about 11 with Marcus. Throughout my time in high school, I spent more time with him than equal amount of time with him to maybe one other person, and then a bunch of time with the other boys, but spent many fun nights with Marcus. And I just have one quick memory to share. Something that was just so funny to both of us was I was in his house and he was just in his front yard talking to Robbie because they were neighbors, and he's just like trying to get some cigarettes or whatever off Robbie, and I'm sitting there and I go to pet his cat, Sushi, who's not the kindest cat, and she lost it and started chasing me, like trying to attack me, chasing me. I ran away, I ran around the kitchen island, and as I'm running around the kitchen island, she like made a leap like caught my leg, like she's full on trying to get me. And then I just kept on running. I ran downstairs where he's chasing me down the stairs. I go into Marcus's room and I called him. I'm like, dude, you gotta get back inside. You gotta get back inside and get your cat because he's trying to kill me. And then like, I opened the door and like 5 seconds later, 2 minutes later, opened the door and he's still just sitting, waiting at me. I'm like, Marcus, please get inside and get a hold of your cat. And then he came inside, got sushi, and unfortunately enough, that never happened again. But that was just the type of person Marcus was. He could laugh at it and then keep me safe at that point. Yeah, and the other thing I want to say is just that Marcus, from the moment I met him, Dexter actually introduced me to him. And from the moment I met him, I just knew this guy's gonna be my friend. This guy's gonna be my friend forever. Just such a nice, kind, as it's been said, just a kind, happy, joyful, and just filled with life. Brought joy everywhere he went. I heard multiple people say at Robbie's the other night that he was everyone's best friend. For a long period of time, he was one of my best friends. He was Dexter's, he was all the boys, Michael's, Robbie's. He was just so dear to all of us. And I'm gonna miss him every day. This has been, since losing another friend 5 years ago, this has been the biggest loss I've had to experience in a long time. And I was in absolute shock when I heard it, and I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm still numb, I can't seem to cry. But I know that one day, and especially maybe through this event, that I'll be able to let it all out and just release this, because it's eaten me alive inside. I miss him so much. And Tracey, Maggie, Matt, I love you guys, and we're all here for you for always. Thank you.
Anybody else has any words to share?
I'm gonna give a 3-second warning because we need the fans on. All right, thank you everyone.
Sorry about that.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I just have a quick story to share about how easy it was to actually make Marcus happy, I guess. We went to a show, my wife and I and him, about a year ago. For any of you guys know Food Bar or anything like that. We went and met Terry, and I was able to get up on stage and win a contest against Terry. And my prize was a block of firewood. And I remember I got off the stage, I opened it, and I was like, wow, I did all that for this block of firewood. And Marcus, biggest smile on his face, grabs it, he's like, do you know what this is worth? And he grabs it, and he's like, dude, you can burn it, you can do whatever. And he's like, just let me take it off your hands for a second. And he took it off my hands, and he went up to Terry himself, got him to sign all the pieces of firewood. I think Matt actually found some at his house. And he came back to me, he's like, there, now it's worth something. And it was just how happy he was, and I was just disappointed. I'm like, well, everybody else got the water guns and everything, and we got firewood. He's like, at least we'll be warm.
Okay. I think that's good more. So, no, one more.
Hey, I'm Matthew Krennick, and I was great friends with Marcus for a long time. I went over to his house every single day for years. Nice to meet you, Tracey. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I don't know, there's countless memories with Marcus. Always made you smile every single day. I just had a real good cry there watching that video. And, I'll miss him a ton. I kept in touch a little with him the past couple years, and I didn't really expect him to just kind of disappear. I was hoping to link up with him one last time, but I guess one good memory out of the many would be making air bands with this guy Levi here, and we were doing white and nerdy, and we came second place, but I remember the rehearsal for that was just quite the show. Yeah, never nerdy enough, but we tried to be. And yeah, we put on a good show, and love him to death, and rest in peace, Marcus.
I'm not the one in the family that usually holds the microphone, but I've got one little story. I believe it was Thanksgiving, because Marcus and Taryn were an item back then, and we were at Colin and Laurie's for Thanksgiving dinner. And it was time, they were all leaving, and Marcus was sitting at the island, and he said, Auntie Laurie, would it be okay if I fix a plate and take it home for Taryn, so that when she comes home from work, she's got dinner? And I looked at Mark, and I said, Mark, I said, what a gentleman, I'm so proud of you, what a kind thing to do. And he looked at me, and he said, Auntie Faye, I was raised by women. So for Auntie Laurie and Tracy and Mame Chamberland and Nan and Naomi and Billy Joe, all the women that, all the Chamberland aunts, I wish I knew how to say aunt in French. Huh? Macount? All the Macounts? Yeah, thank you.
That was good, Faye, but I think you should give Wes some credit too, because you made him tough by wiping his ass with the wire brush. Anybody else?
I think that's good. No. Okay, this is the wild card.
I just want to thank everybody if I don't get to talk to you. Thank you. Don't let how he exited ever affect how you remember him. He loved so many of, well, each and every one of you. Oh my God, I can't believe the room is full. Thank you for coming. Thank you for loving my boy. He was my bonus baby. If his dad hadn't chickened out of that vasectomy, I never would have had him at all. So, I think that maybe because he was my bonus baby, I didn't get to keep him all that long. But I had him for almost 27 years, and he did love his mama. He was a mama's boy. He would be video gaming with his friends online, and I would yell downstairs, "Good night, Marcus, I love you." And he would say, "Good night, Mom, I love you too." And his friends on his game would be like laughing at him and ha-ha, and I could hear him say, "What's the matter with you? Don't you love your mom?" So just thank you very much. If I don't get to talk to you, oh, there's a lot of you. So thank you for coming.
Mama gets the last words. So before we go into the Lord's Prayer and Grace, we're just going to do some thank yous. The flowers. I want to thank Justine with Corinthia Flowers in Leduc. The events at Enjoy Center, Samantha, thank you. You've been a huge help with all the last minute stuff. Thank you very much. Sound and video by H Factor Productions. And thank you to the caterers who are providing today's lunch that we're going to get to enjoy very shortly. Elegant Affairs Catering and Chef John. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the family and friends that have provided support to Tracey and her family over the past week and into the future. So, just before we break for lunch, I want to invite, from Rob's side of the family, I'd like to invite Mark's uncle, Maurice, and his cousin, Natalie, to read the Lord's Prayer and say grace. And once they're finished, please feel free to have your lunch. Come on.
join us in the sign of our faith. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And for grace. Lord, we gather today with hearts full of sadness, yet also so grateful for the life of Marcus. We thank you for the blessings we've shared, for the memories we hold dear. Bless this meal and help us to find strength and comfort in each other's company. May your love surround us and guide us through this time of loss. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.